Okay, so I was going to make a video about this, and then I decided not to make a video about this because Dave from EV Blog made a video about it. But then as I read more about it and I've seen more circle around this whole Medtronic being a great player in the open source world, I figured the more attention I can bring to this and call this out, the better, so that people understand what's really happening here. And so if you've been watching a little bit on Twitter today, the second half of today, Medtronic is getting a lot of press for open sourcing its ventilator design. And if you've been following a lot of what's been going on in the maker community during the COVID-19 outbreak, you know that several efforts are being made to create an open source ventilator, because ventilators are one of the things that in the most impacted areas are running short. And so the more of those we could have to potentially save lives, the better. And so Medtronic released a press release today saying that they were open sourcing a ventilator design to help with the COVID-19 virus, which I'm going to briefly show is not true. And I'll link the video. I'll link Dave's video. He does a whole 15-minute. He goes through it really well. But again, I just wanted to bring as much awareness to people that maybe there's probably a very small number of people that follow this channel and not Dave's channel. And so I just want to bring awareness to it as well. But it says here in their release that we want to is publicly sharing the design specifications for the PB560 to enable participants across industries to evaluate options for rapid ventilator manufacturing to help doctors and patients dealing with COVID-19. And so if you read their actual press release, they skate the line very well. And they allow other people to make the assumptions like Medtronic is doing so great, they're open sourcing their ventilator. And they never actually say that. It says it's publicly sharing, open source, the design to enable participants to evaluate options for rapid ventilator manufacturing. This is getting headlined on TechCrunch, even Hackster.io, who I love, is open source for the win. Medtronic shares ventilator design specs to accelerate production to combat coronavirus. There is nothing about this release that is going to accelerate production. And the reason being, instead of just reading the headlines, I actually downloaded the documents that were open sourced and found that there is not a single design file in the zip file that is included. So there are no plastic part 3D, you can't print. This is a nice, beautiful looking ventilator here. There's no STL files or object files for you to print parts for this. There are schematics. There are no PCB files. And so something that I've been actually writing about recently and blogging about is how incredibly difficult it is to go from a schematic to an actual product. I mean, the PCB design, if you've been following me at all through any of this journey, the PCB design alone is a ton of work. And so none of those files are included. I haven't read every single part in there, but others who have gone through that more have said that there's no bill of materials even. Looking at the schematics, a lot of the parts are older, very hard to come by and source. So this is not a, hey, take the files and try and source things and make ventilators. That's not what's happening at all. And it's actually clear when you download from their site, like if you come to this Medtronic open ventilator, it says here that currently there's a shortage of respirators. They're using all of the terms to make you think that this is about them helping with COVID-19, when really right here it says, our hope is that manufacturers and engineers will use this intellectual property to inspire their own potentially life-saving innovations. There's, like I said, they skate the line in how they say it, and they've let everybody else just assume that they're doing a great public good. They have never said we are open sourcing all the things for you to immediately place orders to make ventilators or start 3D printing parts. They never say that, but everybody assumes it, and everybody's looking for a news story. And so, I mean, let's go to TechCrunch real quick. TechCrunch, that's going to take me to, I don't know what that is. Let's just go to TechCrunch.com. It's probably front page. Airbnb. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Medtronic is sharing its portable ventilator design specifications and code for free to all. Not true. As you'll see if you watch Dave's video that I linked below, there's actually no code included at all. There's several microcontrollers from what it looks like in the schematics that are included, all which would require firmware. None of that is included. In fact, it says in the release that they may release that in the future. So again, in an age of such misinformation and panic that's happening right now, it's things like this where I feel like it's a crappy mood for Medtronic to essentially capitalize on a PR stunt. And that's what this seems like. And Medtronic, prove me wrong. If that's not the case, show me some PCB Gerber files that I could submit and get some PCBs done up and some firmware I could flash onto the microcontrollers that are in those schematics. Show me that and I'll agree with this. And again, I don't think Medtronic would even agree with this kind of headline. But they're not going to call up TechCrunch and say, oh, actually, we are not releasing the code free for all. It's to inspire other people. They're not going to say that. And so I want to just bring some visibility to that for those that maybe read these headlines and think, oh man, that's such a good thing that's happening. It's not a good thing that's happening. And I hate to rain and bring more down news in this time, but there's so much information that I want to call it out for what it is. And so, that's going to do it. That's it. I just wanted to put that out so people, when they see the headlines, they don't necessarily believe it and think that Medtronic is doing us all a solid. It's not. Medtronic seems like they're doing Medtronic a solid by doing a PR stunt. So anyway, do your own research. Hit me up in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong and tell me where I've missed the files that would actually make it possible for us to create life-saving ventilators that are so needed right now.